In this video, I'm going to teach you the connection between a weak neck and forward head posture. But we're not just going to talk about deep neck flexors and chin tucks. And in fact, you're going to learn why strengthening the muscles that you've been taught to avoid might actually be the key to fixing it. And then I'll show you an exercise that I designed specifically to target these muscles and fix forward head posture for good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so first of all, what is forward head posture? As you probably know, and as the name implies, it's when the head and neck get out in front of the body. So instead of being in this stacked position, where the head is over the rib cage, we get the head coming out in front of the rib cage. And as this happens, we're going to see a few positions. At the upper ribs and lower neck, we're going to see a downward and forward motion into rib internal rotation and depression, as well as lower cervical flexion. Now, in order to maintain the line of sight, the upper neck and head compensate back into upper cervical extension. Now, if you're seeing this position, this probably looks a lot like something you've heard of before called upper cross syndrome. In upper cross syndrome, you'll hear that the traps, the pecs, and the SCM muscles are tight, while the deeper neck flexors and lower traps are weak. But this is incorrect because it mistakenly categorizes muscle position for muscle strength. And we're going to cover why this matters in a second, but let's first talk about why forward head posture happens in the first place. Now, for some, forward head posture is a consequence of spine-shaped genetics or behaviors like sitting for years at a computer screen. But for many, forward head posture increases after neck injury or an episode of pain. Now, regardless of the cause, forward head posture, just like any posture, can be thought of more broadly as an efficiency strategy. So to understand why the body might be seeking this efficiency strategy, we need to understand the typical chain of events that leads to forward head posture. Inhibition of the muscles and guarding by the nervous system causes us to poorly tolerate loading these muscles, and over time, actually decreases our strength and endurance. Now, because the muscles like the upper traps in the back of the neck are much bigger and more powerful than the muscles in the front of the neck, like the scalenes or sternocleidomastoid, the body simply shifts the head forward to shift more demand to the back of the neck and less away from the front. Now, the problem here is that once this is the norm, the body adapts in this position, which causes muscles like that SCM to feel stiff and tight. And this is the reason that a lot of interventions try to strengthen the deep neck flexors while avoiding superficial muscles like the SCM. But this is incorrect. It's looking at the effect and mistaking it for a cause. When the head shifts forward, the SCM muscle becomes more vertical and less angled. This reduces the moment arm, which is a fancy way of saying the amount of force required by that muscle is decreased due to the change in position. And because of this, the muscle doesn't work to stabilize the head, and when it doesn't work over time, it gets weaker. Weaker is going to increase the tone of that muscle as an energy conservation strategy, which is going to produce that feeling of stiffness and tightness. This is why when people tell you that it's overactive and you should avoid training it, it feels like the right thing to do. But once you realize that the reason it's tight is actually because it's weak, then avoiding it is only going to keep you stuck. So now that we know the solution is to strengthen the neck, how exactly do we do that and improve forward head posture at the same time? When looking at neck strengthening, we know the entire neck is weaker, so we need to strengthen all of it in some way. But in this video, we're going to focus just on the front of the neck because that's often the weakest link in the chain. But if you want a total neck training solution that I designed to overcome my own 15-year chronic symptoms, then go ahead and get my new neck protocol at the link in the description. Okay, so again, how do we fix forward head posture while strengthening the neck? When we do strengthen the neck, we can actually reverse engineer the forward head posture position to restore strength, endurance, and mobility. So remember, in a forward head posture, we've got a few things. First of all, we've got upper rib cage depression and rounded shoulders with lower neck flexion, and then upper neck and head extension to compensate and keep our eyes level. So we simply need to achieve the opposite positions and load the neck simultaneously. Now this is where we can use the exercise I designed, the Chaplin neck lift. This exercise is going to have a few crucial components, so let's walk through those now in the demo. So first, we're going to lay back with the head over the side of a bench. We'll tuck the chin slightly to engage the deeper neck flexors, and this will also lengthen the SCM muscle at the head. This is going to undo the upper neck extension that you see in forward head posture. Then we're going to lower the neck down, moving mainly at the lower neck and upper ribs. By exhaling as we come down, we're able to get full length in the SCM muscle while also dragging the ribs upwards passively. Then, by inhaling on the way up, we're able to contract the SCM and scalene muscles to lift the upper ribs further. These cues are going to increase strain on the SCM, and if you can keep the chin tuck, the deep neck flexors as well, without having to go to end ranges of neck range of motion. This is going to make this movement super well tolerated while also providing a potent strength stimulus. And not to mention, the position is exactly the opposite of forward head posture, which increases the specific effect. Now, over time, we can progress these in a few ways. Overall, we could just increase the demand over time by using a heavier weight. But we could either do static holds and high reps with a relatively lower weight to increase endurance, or lower reps with a relatively higher weight to increase strength. The net effect is going to be better upper ribcage mobility, better forward head posture, and improved capacity, which is going to help you make changes that actually stick. All right, so now that we've demonstrated this, you're likely wondering how many sets and reps you should do. Now, I'm afraid I can't answer that because everyone is a little bit different. You need to both find the right entry point and also progress it appropriately. And this is exactly why I designed my new neck protocol, which has an entire phase to work up to this exercise if you're just not ready for it, as well as clear standards for progression. So if you're interested in improving neck function and forward head posture, then go ahead and grab a copy down below at the link in the description. All right, so that does it for this video. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and do all the things to help the algorithm to help me, help more people. And until next time, thanks for watching. Peace.